In a world seeking answers, it is necessary to know where to find them. Learn more about God for your life today.
Voice de Oscar Uncal.
A pleasing aroma to the Lord. Would you like to raise a pleasing aroma to the Lord today? Would you like to look at yourself in the mirror and see the face of Christ reflected in it? Well, that will not happen in this life. But we should, I would emphasize, must, rather than should, live as though it were going to happen. I mean, seeing His face. Everything will depend on the way we handle the things of the Lord in our lives, the way we commit ourselves, what we do, and the degree of commitment we put into these matters. For I tell you, the Lord sees our intentions. He sees deep into our hearts, and He will reward everything we do with the intention of pleasing Him. In this way, that pleasing aroma will rise before His presence. Let us look at 2 ways of giving to the Lord and see which one pleased Him. To understand the setting in which we are moving, we must say that Adam and Eve had been expelled from the Garden of Eden and found themselves at the mercy of every hardship. They even saw their lives in danger because wild animals roamed around them. These animals were no longer friendly as they had been when Adam gave each species its name. Now they were dangerous enemies, each looking after its own survival and that of its offspring. Adam and Eve came to understand that being like gods, the lie the devil had told them, was not as simple as it had seemed when they were under God's protection in Eden. By this time, Eve had already given birth to 2 sons, Cain and Abel, and surely they had learned from their parents what life in Eden had been like, and longed for a protecting God who would care for them. They also knew that one form of worship to God is what each human being places at God's disposal. Both came before the Lord with their offerings, which we read about in Genesis 4:3-4. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord. Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat, and the Lord respected Abel and his offering. We see here that Cain brought some of the fruit of the ground, whereas Abel brought the firstborn of his flock and the choicest portions of them. There is a great difference between these 2 offerings. Cain brought a simple offering, merely fulfilling an obligation with a religious attitude. Abel's offering, however, was very different. In it, we can see obedience, complete surrender to the will of God, including faith, worship, a way of honoring and reverencing God, devotion, boundless love for God, thanksgiving for what He has done, what He is doing, and what He will do in our lives, surrender to God, complete trust in God's provision. Abel did something that captured God's attention, and God Himself testified on his behalf. How wonderful it would be to say that God testifies about us. In reality, this can happen when our actions are done to please Him, when we pour ourselves out before Him in praise and worship, and when we give Him the place that rightfully belongs to Him. In this way, we will be raising a pleasing aroma before His presence. God bless you. Amen.